Bodger and Badger were brought to us by their owner. He had a litter of miniature English Bull Terriers that unfortunately these two were profoundly deaf. He was quite concerned about rehoming, so he came to us and asked for our help. I'm really glad that he's done that, because hopefully we can look for a very specialised home for them. Because they're deaf, they do need different types of training. They are lovely dogs with great temperaments, but they do require somebody that has a lot of time to be able to put into the training now to make sure that they remain happy, healthy, confident little dogs. So any owner wanting to train them will need to have lots of patience and lots of time. Obviously the puppies can't hear commands at this stage and don't know any training, so the really important thing is that they need to go to a nice calm home where the owner can keep them comfortable, can keep them calm and not get them overstimulated and aroused, because obviously at this stage there is no stop command. So the initial training for any deaf dog is really important for them to focus and to be able to look at you. So we're going to teach them today a watch me command. We're going to teach them the hand command for good boy. And we're also going to teach them something where we touch them so that they don't startle when they're touched. Sophie, so obviously Bodger's completely deaf, which just adds in a few little things when it comes to training. They are completely trainable. All it takes is a little bit more patience and a little bit more time. We have to teach him little things that you don't have to teach dogs that can hear. Yeah. So if he doesn't hear us say good boy, then we need to teach him a signal that means good boy. So the signal we're going to use is a hand flash. Really, really obvious and really, really quick. First of all, we're going to teach him what the hand flash means. So literally we're going to get his attention, we're going to flash your hand and food. Flash your hand and food. And you just repeat that so he understands that that means food, which obviously is the reward of what we're going to use. Lovely. Brilliant. So what you'd need to do over the next few weeks is continue to practice that. Flash means good, so flash treat, flash treat, flash treat. And then what we can use that signal to say good boy and praise him for anything good that he does. So what I want you to do is, even though he can't hear you, I want you to talk for your purposes of having the right body language. Yep. Now the next thing that all deaf dogs have to do is focus on you. If they're not looking at you, then they're not going to look at you for the next command. And so the next thing we're going to teach him is the watch me command. So to initially get him to look into your eyes, what you need to do is get a treat and then put it towards your eyes. And what I want you to do is touch your nose with your fingers, because that later on will mean look at me, look at me. And once you're into the idea, you can also do the flash hand to say good boy.
Oh,
good
boy.
That's lovely. See, as soon as you start training, he becomes calm. And that's because he's becoming focused, which is exactly what you want.
Try it with your flash of your hand as well.
So I do watch, good boy, then treat.
Good boy. Now already he's calmed, so he's stopped chewing the lead, he's stopped being silly, because we've now got him to focus and he's communicating with you. And that's what deaf dogs would struggle with if their owners didn't communicate. This is perfect communication. Quite a lot of deaf dogs, obviously they can't hear you coming. So quite often if they're asleep or they're relaxing, they jump when someone touches them. And when they jump, sometimes they can air snap. And it's not that they're aggressive, it's just that they're scared. Just the same as when someone makes us jump, we tend to sort of push back or sometimes hit out. Exactly the same for them. So we're going to teach him that touch from us is a good thing. So you start off when they're awake and they know you're about, and then slowly what you do is you do it very, very gently. So choose an area of his body that is comfortable to touch and is not by his face. So ideally the shoulders. And what I want you to do is touch the area and give him a treat straight away. The whole idea is reinforcing, if I'm touched here, it's a good thing. If I'm touched here, it's a good thing. So instead of being startled, they look for the food. So you would practice that when he's out and about, and then you'd start to do it. So as he's becoming sleepy, you'd touch it very gently and give him the treat, very gently and give him the treat. And then you'd progress that till once he's really got the idea of that, when he's actually asleep, you would go and you'd touch the same area but very gently. And as he wakes up, you'd put the food in front of his nose. So as he wakes up, he can smell the food, he knows what's coming. Once he's got the idea with you and he's really comfortable with that, that's what you can then pass that command on to visitors coming into the house, to children that he may come across, to anybody that looks after him. So it's a signal to say, hey, I'm here, you don't need to jump. One of the big considerations when you're taking on a deaf dog is the inability to let them off lead all the time. When it comes to a deaf dog, you can teach them a recall, but obviously it will be limited. So for safety reasons, a deaf dog must be kept on its lead at all times, Or if it does have off-lead exercise, it must learn the recall command and only be let off in fenced areas. That's a really big consideration when taking on a deaf dog. So we're looking for a very specialised home for Bodger and Badger. We need a family that has lots of time and lots of patience. We are definitely looking for somebody that has experience in English Bull Terriers or miniature English Bull Terriers. We are looking for a home without young children, and we're looking for a home without cats, but dogs are absolutely fine as long as they're very well socialised and quite happy to take on a bit of a tearaway puppy.